I'm sorry for your loss, Taeyang. Don't cry. You said while rubbing his back. You don't need to be sorry, and you don't know anything. And because of her, I behaved bad with you. And I thought you are also like her. But you proved me I'm wrong. I'm so happy, and to have a wife like you. You are very much understanding and supporting woman, and I love you. He said and hugged you tightly. And you also hugged him back and said, I too love you, Taeyong. Now stop crying. We both are here for Jungso, right? You are not alone now, Taeyong. You have me. And we can be very happy in future. Like a perfect family. Don't cry. And don't think about that nightmare which happened in past. You are also very good husband, Taeyong. Now stop crying. I can't see my mafia husband crying like this. You were consoling him and he was crying on your shoulder. And suddenly he chuckled because of your words. And you both became busy in this moment. And you both didn't observe that what happened in front of you. And suddenly you both heard a gunshot sound. And Jungsu started crying hard. And you both back off from each other and quickly looked at Jungsu and became shocked. I'm so sorry to disturb your precious moment, lovely couples. A group of people gathered around the area and they pointed guns towards you both. And while seeing them, Taeyong said, Who the hell are you people and why you are holding my son? Leave him. Taeyong said in a very angry tone when he saw some men are holding Jungsu while pointing a gun on his head. And they are not Taeyong's gang members, and while seeing them, you got panic. Hey, leave my son, you said while crying, and Taeyong was looking at them with his dark, scary eyes. Will you leave my son or should I use my method? He said and about to take out his gun from his pocket, and they placed a finger on the trigger and said, Don't try to act smart, Mafia King. If you take out your gun, then I will kill your son immediately before you take out your gun. Our boss told us to kidnap you three. If you both want this little boy safe, then silently come with us and don't try to do anything. They said and you both became shocked, and Taeyong was looking at them very angrily and not said anything, and he was foaming in anger. Don't try to do anything and now come and sit in our cars and do as we said, he said while pointing the gun at Jungsu, and he is crying very hard, and while seeing Jungsu like that, you both silently sat on the car. The total ride was very scary for you. They took Jungsu in one car and you both sat in another car, and you are crying very much as you are very much worried about Jungsu. And after your father left this world, Jungsu was the first person to make you happy, and he is very precious to you. And you don't want to lose him at any cost. And they took you both into a den and you saw that Jungsu is placed in a baby chair and so many members are rounded around the chair, and then they fastly dragged him and tied him to a chair, and then they dragged you and tied you to another chair, and this happened very quickly to respond anything, and no words are coming from your mouth as your throat is dried up by seeing this scary scene. Taeyong, I'm scared. Do something. They are going to kill our Jungsu, Ru said while crying and looking at Taeyong. And don't cry. Nothing will happen to us. I will protect. Taeyong was about to complete his words, but his words cut off by someone's clapping sound, and you both turned towards the sound to see who is it. Wow, Mafia King, wow. Even though you are tied up and there is no way to get out of from here, you still have plans to protect them. But how will you protect them? That only happens in your dreams. So don't dream now, because you are in my den. Kunvo's den. Here everything happens how Kunvo wants. He said while smirking and coming closer to you both. And while seeing the man in front of you, you got shocked, as you never expected to see him like this, as your kidnapper. And you said, Kunvo Oppa, you kidnapped us? You said in shock. Yes, it's me. Why? Why you kidnap us? I think you misunderstood as another people. Tell them to leave us, Oppa. My son is crying very much. You said while looking at Jungsu and turned towards Kunvo, expecting that he will leave you. But he said, No, it's my plan to kidnap you all. There is no misunderstanding in this. He said while smirking, and you became shocked. Why, Oppa? Why did you do this? I didn't expect this from you. If Auntie see you like this, she will hate you. Leave us, Oppa. Why are you doing this? You are doing wrong. Shut up, Vaan. Why should I leave you? Huh? To spend your time with this? Why? I won't leave you, Vaan. I won't. And you are mine, only mine. But you married him because of your dad, and I won't leave you all. And also, my mom is with me. We both made a plan together to kidnap you all, and I'm going to get you and your money after killing this. And your son, he shouted loudly while making you flinch, and you became shocked and your eyes widened by listening his words. And you know what, Vaan? I'm going to. Then I will marry you and we will be happy together. Got it? And I'm not going to leave them, he said while laughing. What nonsense you are talking, Oppa? Have you gone mad? I'm already married, and how can we both marry each other? I think you need to see a doctor, because I'm like your sister and you are thinking of marrying me? You felt disgusted by his words and you said this in angry tone. Who is your brother, Vaan? Am I your real brother or cousin? No, right? Then how? How can I become your brother? From my childhood, I'm dreaming to marry you. But that old man didn't say yes to our marriage. When we came with proposal to your house, and we literally begged him to marry us. But that old man didn't listen to us. So that we both can marry each other. But because of that old man last wish came in middle and ruined my plan totally. Your world shattered into pieces when you listened to his words, and tears started forming in your eyes, and while crying you said, What? You killed my dad? You are in shock by his words, and you asked him again this question to know you listened correct or not. Yes, I did. For you. To marry you and make you mine. I did like that, Vaan. I can't believe you both did all this for money and to marry me. If you both want money, I could have gave you happily, Oppa. But why you did like this? How can you kill my dad? And about marriage, how can you think of marrying me? I'm like your sister, and you are like my brother. And also, I'm already married. and I love my husband. And how can you think like this? How can you do things like an evil oppa? You will definitely pay for your sins for killing my dad. You said angrily, and hate can be visible in your eyes towards him. And suddenly he came towards you and held your neck tightly and said, "You are talking so much, Van. It's not your father place or your husband place. Just shut up and mom, get those papers." He held your neck very tightly and tears started to fall down from your eyes like a river. And while seeing this, Theo's eyes were totally became red due to anger. But still he is maintaining silent to see to where extent this convo can go. And then Mrs. Hunt came with papers in her hands. "Oh, Van, I'm feeling so pity to see you like this, dear. If your father has said to you both marriage, then this day won't have come. But what can we do? My brother has decided your fate like this. I'm sorry, dear. I'm feeling so sorry to see you like this." She said very sarcastically, and while listening to her words, tears continuously falling down from your eyes, but you are very angry on them. Because you never expected that your aunt could do like this. And you said, "Auntie, didn't you feel bad while doing this to my dad? How can you? Your own brother." "Van, I'm not like you to give values to all this unwanted relationship. I just want money. And I did this to get them," she said while smirking. And then Kunvo threw some papers on you and he said, "These are your property papers, and in this it is written as you are giving your whole property to me. Sign it, Van." "No, I will never sign on those papers," you said in angry tone. "Okay, then your husband and this kid will die. Don't test my patience and do it as a saver and when I'm saying in a cool way." And while listening his words, your eyes widen in shock and you are thinking to sign it or not. Then Taeyong said, "Van, don't sign it. I'm here to protect you. And don't listen to him at all. I'm here with you, Van." When Taeyong said this, Kunvo went towards Taeyong and gave him a hard punch on his right cheek. "What? You will save them? How? Just shut up and get ready to. Don't forget that you are in my place. And you, Van, sign on those papers. If not, I will do as what I said before." You got scared very much by his words, and you don't want to lose Jungsu and Taeyong at any cost, and you are not understanding what to do. And you thought that if you sign on those papers, then they will leave Taeyong and Jungsu. So you were about to say yes, but suddenly Taeyong started laughing loudly, and everyone looked at him in confusion. "Hey, you, why are you laughing like that? Don't make me angry. If not, what, Mr. Han? What will you do?" Taeyong was laughing loudly while saying it, and you silently looked at him as you are not understanding anything. But Kunvo got frustrated by Taeyong's laugh, and he shouted, "What's so funny, Mr. Kim? Why are you laughing like that? You are so funny, Mr. Han. Do you really think that you will kill Me and my family? And that too in my country, where everything is mine and everything will be under my control. You are so funny, Mr. Han. Kunvo and Mrs. Han looked at Taeyong in confusion by his words. What? What do you mean? The place you are calling is yours, actually my den. You are so funny, Mr. Han. I think you don't have brain. How can you think that you will kidnap us this much easily? Taeyong said while laughing. What? What you thought, Mr. Han? You and your mom will make a plan to harm my wife by poison and now kidnap us, and I don't know anything? And I will not know anything. Don't be shocked by this only, Mr. Han. Actually, kidnapping is not your plan. It's my plan. It's Mafia King Kim Teng's plan to make us to kidnap, to bring yours and your mom's true identity. What? What the hell are you talking, Mr. Kim? Don't talk nonsense. Kunvo said in shock and in anger, and then Taeyong easily untied his rope, which is loosely wrapped around him. While smirking, he said, "And you believe that you kidnapped me, Mr. Han? It will not happen in your dreams also. It's all my plan to expose you. I got to know your every game before 1 month only, as there is no proper evidence to catch you. I did like this, as you both are Mr. Park's family, and my and also case for you both very much. So I was silent all this time, and I sent my men to act like your mans. And see, today you are in front of us and exposed yourself." "Don't talk rubbish, Mr. Kim. This can't be true." Kunvo shouted in panic tone, and Taeyong smirked at him. And then he looked at the bodyguards and the guards who were pointed guns towards them all the time. Now they turned towards Kunvo and Mrs. Han and started pointing gun towards them. "What, Mr. Han? You thought that you will come to Korea and you will Mr. Park and try to harm my wife, and I don't know anything, and I can't do anything. After I got to know about your both drama, I made a plan to expose you both to Waan, and I finally did it. We didn't got into your trap, Mr. Han, but you both got into my trap." "And sorry, Waan, I didn't say this to you before, as I don't have any evidence to show you. That's why I did like this. I'm sorry. I unnecessarily made you to worry," he said while coming towards you and removed the rope from your body. "It's okay, Taeyong, but I was very much scared, and I thought I'm going to lose you both." "You did correct, Taeyong. I still can't believe that these both did all this, and they, my dad, not even my dreams also I could believe this," you said while crying, and Taeyong hugged you and started kissing your head to calm you down. "I'm sorry, and now don't worry, everything is under my control. You and Jungsu are safe," he said and kissed your forehead and went towards Jungsu and took him into his hands and came to you. And you took Jungsu into your hands and started kissing him all over his face. And the Jungsu stopped crying when he got close to you. "It's okay, my baby. Don't cry. Everything is fine now," you whispered slowly in Jungsu's ear to calm him down. So now everything is clear. So you both tell me, what should I do with you for Mr. Park and trying to us? Taeyong said while looking at Kunvo and Mrs. Han, and they started to get scared, and Mrs. Han came forward and said while crying, "We are sorry, Mr. Kim. Please don't do anything to us. We did wrong, and we're never gonna repeat it again. We are sorry, Mr. Kim. Please forgive us, Waan. Please, our eyes became blind because of money, and we forgot about relationship values. And you are Mafia King Kim Taeyong, and you can do anything. We are sorry, Mr. Kim." Mrs. Han was saying sorry so that they can both escape, but her facial expressions are still angry, and by seeing her face, anyone can say that she is acting now. And Kunvo stood silently and he angrily glaring at you both, and there is no regret in their eyes for this sins. "You are acting very good, Mrs. Han. You are an extraordinary actress. But this time, no one is going to fall in your cheap act. Sorry, today is the end of you both." Taeyong said this while pointing towards them. And then suddenly Mrs. Han came towards you and held your hands, and she said, Vaan, please forgive us, Vaan. We are sorry for doing everything. We did a big mistake, and I'm regretting very much, Vaan, for doing all that. And I can't believe that how I did with my own brother. I'm sorry, Vaan. From now on, we will change. Please say your husband to leave us. Please, Vaan. You listened to her every word very silently. She was pleading you with tears in her eyes. But your dad face came into your mind, took back your hands from her hands, and started going from there with Jungso in your hands without saying anything. "Vaan, where are you going? Tell your husband." You were going out along with Jungsu while carrying him in his hands. But when you listened to Mrs. Han's words, you stopped in your place and without turning back, you said, "Taeyong, what are you waiting for? Do the thing you always do with betrayers and your enemies and come home fastly." You said while going outside the den, and Taeyong smirked while looking at shocked faces of Mrs. Han and Kunvo. "Ha, finally now it's time for you to go to the place where you actually belongs. And get ready to go to the hell." After completing his work, Taeyong came back home and started looking for you. Vaan, where are you, Vaan?" He started calling your name while going into bedroom when he didn't saw you in the living room. "Vaan, are you here?" he said while opening the door, and got startled when you suddenly hugged him before entering into the room correctly. And he said, "Hey Vaan, what happened?" he said while trying to move back from the hug, but you tightly hugged him with all your strength, and he got shocked when he listened to your sobbing sounds and presence of tears on his back. Vaan, are you crying?" he said in a concerned tone. "Taeyong, my dad. My dad, Taeyong. How can they do like that?" you said while crying on his shoulder. "How can you do like this to my dad, Taeyong? We all trusted them, but I didn't thought that they will do like this. You are crying very hard, and Taeyong started rubbing on your back to calm you down. Don't cry, Vaan. They got punishment for this sins. Please don't cry. Mr. Park is looking you from up, and if he see you crying like this, he will feel bad, baby. Don't cry. Everything is fine now, and I'm with you. You are still crying as you never expected that you will lose your dad because of your aunt and her son. And please don't cry. If you cry, I will also cry. When Taeyong said this, you stopped crying and looked at him and said, Don't cry. See, I'm also not crying. You said while rubbing your tears, and you kissed on his forehead and said, After my mom and dad, you and Jongsu are very precious to me. And I can't see tears in your both eyes, Taeyong. Please don't cry. And I can't bring Mr. Park back, but I can assure that I will take care of you till my last breath. So don't cry like this again. It makes me very sad. Okay, Tae, I won't cry again. And you also stop crying. You said and rubbed his tears. And Taeyong, I think we should not say all this to mom because she will feel very bad. It's very bitter truth of my aunt and her son, and it will be better if we keep this as a secret. Okay, and don't worry, I won't say to her. I love you, Taeyong. You are very understanding and supporting husband. You never make me feel alone. I'm so thankful to have you in my life. I too love you, and I'm also very thankful to share my life with you. You both said these words while looking into each other's eyes and hugged tightly.